happy readers! It's Shed Time Stories with me, Issy. Are you ready to share a new story? Well, I have chosen a rather courageous story to share. The title is Braveheart Gracie and the Power-ful-less Vacuum Monster. If you have this book at home, you can read along with me. The author, the person who has written this story, is Cristal Lynn Cook, and the illustrator, the person who has drawn all the pictures, is Cat Powell. Now, life can be very scary sometimes, but for Gracie, it feels like danger lurks around every corner. I wonder if Gracie is feeling a real fear or a make-believe fear. Shall we read and find out? Braveheart Gracie and the Power-ful-less Vacuum Monster. Charlie, Charlie, run for your life! The vacuum monster's back! Gracie shrieks as she flies out of the house in a panic. Surprised, Hope the butterfly and Princess Penelope stare at Gracie, their conversation interrupted by her outburst. Breathless, Gracie exclaims, "Phew, that was close! I barely escaped alive!" "What happened, Gracie?" they ask. "That terrifying vacuum monster was chasing me. It has a loud and scary roar and mean-looking eyes and a huge mouth. I'm so worried about our human. Luckily, Samantha is safe at school. Charlie is in terrible danger. I think he may be trapped by the monster. Oh no! What if the monster has already eaten him? What can we do? We need to rescue Charlie if it's not too late. But I'm way too afraid to go back in there." Charlie prances outside and joins the others. "Gracie, I saw you panic, but I'm not convinced that it's a dangerous monster. I was closely observing its strange behavior, and it didn't even notice me." Eyes wide, Gracie shakes her head and argues. "Yes, Charlie, it is a dangerous monster. Listen to its loud roars. It sounds hangry. You know, angry and hungry at the same time. A dangerous combination. With my own eyes, I've seen it eating the doggy treats and bones and toys that I meticulously buried between the couch cushions. If it can eat doggy bones, it can eat dogs. And Princess Penelope too. Our human is obviously unable to control the powerful monster. Look at her wrestling with it. She is dripping with sweat and completely out of breath." "Oh my gosh, that sounds terrifying!" exclaims Hope. "Your treats, bones and toys were devoured just like that? That's so tragic. You're not even safe in your own home. What are you going to do?" "I don't know what to do about that monster, except to wait safely outside and listen for the roaring to stop. I'm not sure how, but the monster magically disappears. I think our human must somehow conquer it," Gracie says thoughtfully. "But only for a few days. It always returns after I've buried more treasures under the couch cushions. Worst timing ever." Rolling her eyes, Princess Penelope smirks. "I am not afraid of the vacuum monster. Being a princess with magical flying powers and all, I can fly onto the kitchen counter and watch the madness from above. Before we assume this creature is malevolent and wants to have us for a snack, let's give this some thought, Charlie responds. I have noticed that it only roars when its tail is attached to the wall, and I have seen Samantha's mom attach its tail to the wall herself. Is it possible that our human is controlling it rather than fighting it? What does malevolent mean? Asks Hope. It means to be mean on purpose, explains Charlie. But why would Samantha's mom allow it to eat all of my favourite things? She's the one that gives them to us. I can't imagine her doing something so cruel. That just doesn't make sense at all, exclaims Gracie. You're right about that, Gracie. There are many things that humans do that we may never understand, explains Charlie. Like when they brush all of our hair off their clothes before they leave the house. That's just crazy. Anyone with any fashion sense knows that no outfit is complete without dog and cat hair. No appreciation. You're welcome, humans, adds Gracie sarcastically. Getting back to the matter at hand, Charlie says thoughtfully. I don't think that this is a threatening monster at all, nor do I believe that we are in any danger. In fact, this is a perfect example of a make-believe fear. What do you mean? Gracie, Hope and Princess Penelope shout in unison, completely flabbergasted. Well, explains Charlie, fear is an emotion meant to protect us from danger. But there are two types of fear, helpful fear and make-believe fear. Helpful fear is when there is actual danger present and we need to find safety. Like when Samantha tried to squish me when I was a caterpillar, asks Hope. Or when I walk on Buster's fence, he jumps, growls and barks at me with his big sharp teeth, adds Princess Penelope. Oh, I get it. Like when I walk by Princess Penelope and I forget to say, "Hail to Princess Penelope," and she whacks me with her magical kitty sword hands, exclaims Gracie. Yes, those are all great examples of helpful fear, because there is real danger present, answers Charlie. In these types of situations, it is important that we remain safe. We can yell for help, avoid snarling dogs, and tell Princess Penelope that it is not okay to swat at you with her magical kitty sword hands. Make-believe fear is when we are afraid of something that presents no real danger. I like to think of this type of fear as FEAR, false evidence appearing real, explains Charlie. Asks Princess Penelope. What about when we visit the veterinarian? Is that real fear or make-believe fear? What about when I have a frightening nightmare? Adds Gracie. Or when I was trying to escape from my chrysalis. It was really hard and I was afraid I would be trapped inside of that tiny space forever, recalls Hope. mother was afraid of going to a new school, chimes in Gracie.
Actually, all of those are great examples of make-believe fear,
answers Charlie encouragingly.
Another is being afraid of something that makes a loud noise and mysteriously gets its power only when its tail is connected to the wall. The infamous vacuum monster.
I don't know about that, Charlie. The sweet veterinarian did hurt me when she stuck that big needle in my rump, argues Princess Penelope. That's right. The sweet veterinarian also hurt me terribly. When she cut my toenails, she cut one so short that it even bled, adds Gracie.
Very good points indeed, answers Charlie. Let's give this some thought. Gracie, I was there with you at the veterinarian's office getting my own toenails cut, and mine did not hurt at all. I simply relaxed and enjoyed getting the love and attention from the doctor. When it was your turn, you screamed and squealed and wiggled and made such a fuss that it was a miracle the doctor didn't accidentally cut off your entire leg.
Charlie smiles at Gracie affectionately.
It may even be fair to say that your own fear and panic created the bleeding toenail fiasco. As for the needle in the rump, adds Charlie, I recall the doctor telling Samantha's mom that this was an important vaccine to keep us from getting sick. A quick needle in the rump is better than a deadly disease, and I trust that Samantha's mom would not allow anyone to harm us. In fact, she was there the entire time, smiling and talking to the doctor.
Charlie, are you saying that even though something may hurt or feel scary, it isn't necessarily dangerous? Asks Princess Penelope inquisitively.
That is exactly what I'm saying. It may even be fair to conclude that the more time we spend thinking about our make-believe fears, the more we accidentally wish them into being. Now, this is a powerful theory to consider. By focusing on our fear, we actually breathe life into that fear.
Charlie takes a deep breath and says it again.
By focusing on our fear, we actually breathe life into that fear.
What? Exclaims Gracie, shocked. Just by thinking of how scary something is, I am making it bigger and more powerful? Hope and Princess Penelope look on in disbelief.
Absolutely well said, Gracie.
Charlie, do you have any make-believe fears? Asks Hope.
I do have make-believe fears, quite often in fact. Sometimes when our humans talk in loud voices, I'm afraid that I did something to upset them. I worry that I'll be kicked out onto the streets to fend for myself. My first family did that to me. I was scared, cold, hungry, and very sad. Sometimes I'm afraid that will happen again, answers Charlie.
That sounds terribly frightening and lonely, shares Hope. What do you do with make-believe fears so that you don't make it more powerful and scary? Asks Princess Penelope.
Well, sometimes it's hard. I try challenging the fear by asking, am I in real danger? For example, would my loving human family actually throw me out into the street? It also really helps to do something that replaces my scary thoughts with happy feelings, like getting snuggles from Samantha or curling up in my comfy doggy bed. Then I realise how ridiculous that worry is. They are the ones that rescued me from homelessness, Charlie responds.
That is a ridiculous thought, Charlie. Our humans love us. They give us treats and play with us all the time, exclaims Gracie.
Gracie, that is a brilliant observation. So one way to tell if you are experiencing make-believe fear is when others are not frightened by the same thing. You don't fear our humans throwing us out onto the streets, but sometimes I do. I don't fear the doctor cutting my toenails, but you do. We can check in with each other when we are not sure.
Oh, I'm getting it. I'm not afraid of Gracie's nightmare, but she is, exclaims Princess Penelope. But we are all afraid of Bigfoot squishing Hope. But what about when we're afraid and don't know if it's make-believe fear or real fear? It can be confusing, and there isn't always a friend nearby to ask. Like when I'm out flying alone, how can I be safe from real danger and not allow make-believe fear to fool me? Asks Hope. That is a good question, Hope, adds Gracie, looking at Charlie curiously.
Well, let's ponder this. Hope, how do you know when a storm is brewing and you need to find shelter?
Asks Charlie.
Last week, you told us to get inside because a storm was coming, and you were already tucked under your leaf before the huge storm even started. It would be dangerous for a fragile butterfly to be caught outside in that kind of weather, but somehow you knew with enough time to get to safety. How did you do that?
That's easy. I just sense it somehow. I'm not sure how, but I just kind of know, answers Hope.
Oh, that sounds like intuition,
reflects Charlie.
Intuition is something that we all have that helps us sense when a situation isn't safe. It's an uncomfortable feeling, a tightness in the chest, an upset belly, a racing heart, a yucky feeling inside of you that says, "Get out of here and find safety." When we are unsure if we are facing real danger or make-believe fear, it's important to take a deep breath, remain calm, and observe from a safe distance to gather more information, much like I did earlier with the vacuum monster. I wasn't sure if it was a dangerous monster or our human's companion, so I peeked from the doorway, listened to my intuition, and made some interesting observations that led me to believe it isn't dangerous at all.
But what can we do when we're really scared of our make-believe fear? The fear you call false evidence appearing real, asks Gracie. Hope and Princess Penelope nod in agreement. And how do we know for certain that the vacuum monster isn't really trying to eat us? Asks Princess Penelope. Yeah, maybe the vacuum monster really is a dog-eating and Princess Penelope eating monster, says Gracie worriedly.
Taking the power away from make-believe fear is the first step. For example, remind yourself that scary dreams are not real, that escaping your chrysalis is part of a difficult and important life transition, that the veterinarian is there to help you, and that a new school is full of friends you simply haven't yet met. I will demonstrate for you with the vacuum monster, says Charlie as he walks towards the back door. Together, the friends hold their breath as they watch Charlie burst through the doggy door and run to where the vacuum monster's tail is attached to the wall. Bravely, Charlie grabs the monster's tail and pulls it from the wall. Instantly, the vacuum monster becomes still and silent. Cheers erupt from the patio as Princess Penelope, Hope and Gracie gleefully celebrate the demise of the dreaded vacuum monster. You are so brave, Charlie. How can we be courageous like you? Asks Hope. Charlie answers, Courage isn't fearless. Courage is about being afraid and doing it anyway. Just remember, you have the ability to take the power away from any make-believe fear. A wise man, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, Courage is the power of the mind to overcome fear. You can take the power away from anything that is false evidence appearing real. Follow these steps to help you be courageous. First, breathe deeply. Pretend you are blowing up a balloon in your belly. Breathe in slowly for a count of 3. Pause and then exhale slowly for a count of 5. Next, remind yourself, I am safe, I am brave, I've got this. Then think of something that gives you great joy.
That's easy. I love chasing leaves in the wind, offers Gracie. I love pollinating flowers. It's very important work, adds Hope. I love fitting perfectly inside a magnificent cardboard box, shares Princess Penelope.
And I love snuggling with Samantha on the couch,
says Charlie before continuing.
Finally, do your best superhero winner's pose. Stand with your feet wide and arms stretched above your head. That's it. Then reach for the stars and become a superhero. Now, let's speak our power into words and all practice together. I'll start with my own make-believe fear.
Smiling, Charlie takes a deep breath.
I am brave Charlie, and I will not be frightened by my bad memories of homelessness. Now, each of you try.
I am Braveheart Hope, and I will not be frightened by the challenges in my life. I will face them as exciting opportunities to grow. Cheers, Hope. I am Braveheart Princess Penelope, and I will not be frightened by scary, sharp instruments in the doctor's office, declares Princess Penelope. Finally, Gracie shouts with determination, I am Braveheart Gracie, and I will not be frightened by the loud and powerless vacuum monster.
Now that you have practiced your bravery skills, are you ready to use them to face the vacuum monster?
Asks Charlie. Looking at each other for reassurance, Princess Penelope, Hope and Gracie agree. Charlie carefully reattaches the vacuum monster's tail to the wall. The monster erupts with a loud roar. Charlie nods encouragingly to his friends. Bravely, Hope lands on the vacuum monster's head, and Princess Penelope rubs her neck on the monster's body. Gracie takes a deep breath and, thinking of all that she has learned about managing her feelings of FEAR, she raises her arms in a powerful hero's pose and repeats, I am Braveheart Gracie, and I will not be frightened by you, vacuum monster. As she boldly approaches the object of her biggest make-believe fear. As Charlie pulls the monster's tail from the wall, Gracie shouts with excitement, Wow! I feel brave and powerful! The vacuum monster didn't hurt me. It must know how brave I am. I can do it, Charlie. I can face my fears. But I am still not happy that the vacuum monster eat all of my treasures. Chuckling, Charlie answers,
Yes, I can understand your misery, Gracie, but we always seem to have treats, bones and toys. We just do cute tricks and our humans give us more.
Look, Samantha's mom is burying all of my treasures in that gigantic, glorious-smelling can, and the vacuum monster is watching. Humans aren't so strange after all. Samantha's mom took my treasures and reburied them, just like I do with yours, Charlie, exclaims Gracie. The vacuum monster must be helping her find my treasures. They are working together, just like you thought, Charlie.
Now that is fascinating indeed, replies Charlie. Let's follow the vacuum monster and Samantha's mom to see what else they get up to. Charlie, Princess Penelope and Hope follow Samantha's mom to the hallway closet, where they observe her wrapping up the cord and tucking the vacuum neatly into the closet. Where's Gracie? Hope asks. I thought she was right behind me. In a muffled voice, Gracie answers, I'm in here reclaiming my buried treasure, and I'm finding even more goodies. This big can is a treasure trove of bounty, and it smells absolutely delightful. The vacuum monster isn't a monster after all. It's a treasure hunter. This is so funny.
the scary and powerful vacuum monster has become a helpful and clever treasure hunter, laughs Princess Penelope.
I believe this is what is referred to as a change in perspective, adds Charlie. A wise human, Dr. Wayne Dyer, once said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Have you changed the way you look at the vacuum monster, Gracie?
Oh yes, Charlie, and that Dr. Wayne Dyer must have been a very wise human. I bet he never removed fashionable dog and cat hair from his clothes. The end. Oh, what a wonderful story that was. We can all have lots of different fears, but as Charlie said, those fears can be overcome. We can change how we think about them, and we can have a more positive approach to them. We can also all be a Braveheart. I am Braveheart Issy. I hope you have enjoyed this Shed Time story, and if you want to, you can like, share, follow or subscribe to Shed Time Stories. Then you will be ready for the next book that we can share together. Bye-bye.